Hey y'all, you all, I hope everybody's doing okay. This video today is going to be a little different. I don't have anything written down, no notes. This is going to be just kind of going from ear, just straight from my mind to the camera, out of my mouth to you guys. Yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about hallucinations, specifically the schizophrenic view, or however you want to phrase that. But I have some subscriptions on YouTube. I'm subscribed to a couple of people that are schizophrenic. They label themselves schizophrenic. They were labeled that way. They have their channel geared towards schizophrenia, and so I thought about, well, maybe I should do my own video on the hallucinations from the schizophrenia. And then I'm like, well, you know, there's a lot of those out there already, so I don't really want to mimic those, but I do have some thoughts on it. The first one is that the last time I went to the hospital, and I didn't get committed at that point. I have been committed, but this last time in particular, I asked the doctor, because one of my hallucinations, anyway, one of my things that I notice is that when I'm looking at birds flying in the sky, it doesn't look like they're flying. It looks like they're actually swimming. And I would see, oh great, we got some dogs barking. But it looks like what I would see behind them would be a tail, like a purple something following it, almost like if you're doing acid or something, you see like a tracer behind it, and it looked like the birds are actually swimming in the sky instead of flying. And I asked the doctor, I was like, I told him about that, and he said those hallucinations really aren't part of schizophrenia. And I was like, huh? Because that was the biggest part of me being, schizophrenic. I never really said that I heard voices or anything like that. I just acted a certain way, and they fit me into some criteria, and said, oh, she's schizophrenic, just give her these pills. But the pills never helped me. I mean, I ended up just getting so frustrated when I was on these pills, and I was on them for 6 months, a bunch of them. Antipsychotics and things like that. When my symptoms were at their worst, my hallucinations were at their peak, and it just made me start thinking, and I know that it's really not hallucinations. I know that there's just people there, that it's plain and simple. You could take something that's really simple, like this mental illness, this schizophrenia thing. It's simple, but you could complicate it by calling it schizophrenia. Let's just call it what it is. It's people that are more sensitive and pre-wired to seeing in other realms. They're just here. They're here to change things. They're here to change reality, to shift reality, and they are wired to communicate and to see things that other people can't see. So let's just quit calling it hallucinations, because some of them, believe me, I've seen some things that would, I did acid a lot when I was a kid. I used to do it a lot because I thought it was fun. It was just trippy, hippy dippy, I did it, and we would go to concerts. Did it at school. People would do it and go to school, and it was just the most fun. But this isn't that. The things that I've seen, I might actually kind of write some of these down and go into detail about it, some of the things that I've seen But like, just for example, I've seen the sky, the stars fall out of the sky. And of course, I'm always like alone, and you know, this is something that's coming from your level of consciousness, what you see. So of course, whenever I came inside and said, somebody come and help me see if they can find the stars, because they were gone. I was sitting outside, and I looked down to fiddle with the Pandora radio, and then I looked, I mean, there was stars just everywhere, all in the sky. We live out in the country. And then I looked back up, and not one. Not one. And I just kind of flipped, you know. I freaked out. Yeah, I've seen things that really frightened me, and I've seen things that made me kind of like a really good example. I have some kind of weird connection I feel with mermaids. When I first started this wake up in the garage, if you watch my wake up, my videos, excuse me, the dogs are probably going to start barking. If you watch my awakening videos, I was in a garage, but there was a cup, a Starbucks cup, and the mermaid on the cup all of a sudden had a hat on and was like doing like this, like putting the hat on and then taking the hat off and looking at me the whole time like this, like, and I was like, what the hell is that? And I was like just freaking out, and that was just the beginning of that. But I'm not going to go on and on about my personal hallucinations or visions, but yeah, that's what they are. So that's all I had to say about that. I might finish this later. Have a great day, y'all. Bye.